Today I'm setting myself a challenge. 5 seasons, 5 nations, and the aim will be to win 5 consecutive titles. So, I'm starting out with Bayern as they've won 5 consecutive Bundesliga titles. Should be a pretty easy team to start out with, fairly straightforward to win the Bundesliga. Their squad is stacked. I will of course be making more signings, so improving the team even further. And hopefully, at the end of the season, we can win the Bundesliga title. At the end of that year, I'll move on, I'll simulate through all 5 seasons, and like I say, at the end of the 5 seasons, hopefully, we'll have won the league in 5 different countries. So, if you are new to the channel and want to see more FIFA videos, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And if you do go on to enjoy this video, leave it a like as well. Let's get into the challenge then, and let's see if we can start out by winning the Bundesliga title with Bayern. And I'll enter the Asian Elite Cup. We've already got more than 80 million in the bank, but I wouldn't say no to a bit more, to be honest. Mainly because I want to sign this guy and he will not be cheap. 82 million plus Ribery. It's worth it though. As expected, he wanted a lot of money. In the end though, we've agreed on a contract of £1.1 million per week. Still worth it in my opinion. We're signing Messi. So this is how the team's looking now. Let's sim forward to January and let's see where Bayern sit midway through the season. Right, so I've simmed forward to the start of January and quite honestly this league table is completely ridiculous. We are top of the table but we're only 2 points ahead of Hoffenheim and they sit in 8th position. I don't think I've ever seen a league table this close before. This is insane. And we've not really got any budget left either, so we're just going to have to sim forward to the end of the season and hope for the best. Keep our fingers crossed. I'm not entirely sure where the Champions League money's gone, to be honest. It just isn't there, so yeah, the game's obviously broken, which is great. But anyway, let's sim forward to the end of the season and let's see what happens. And we've now arrived at the end of the season and the good news is that we haven't failed the challenge just yet. We did win the Bundesliga title, we didn't lose any more games after January, so that's not too bad going. We got 76 points, finished 11 points ahead of Schalke, Hoffenheim came 3rd, Cologne came 4th, and Dortmund were way down the table in 8th position. I expected more of them, to be honest. And I also expected more of Messi, to be honest. He wasn't a top scorer, he wasn't in the assist chart either, and he's not even in the clean sheet list. Can't really hold that one against him as he's not a goalkeeper, but he definitely didn't do enough anyway. Not enough goals, not enough assists. We spent so much money on him, and to be honest, it was a bit of a fail. Okay, maybe that was a bit harsh. He did score 14 goals and provide 7 assists in all competitions, so yeah, not entirely awful. Also not great either, as 1 goal and 2 assists were in the pre-season tournament, so can't really count those, to be honest, mate. As well as winning the Bundesliga though, we did also win the DFB Pokal, so I would have expected a bit more from our one signing, but we did do the double, so yeah, decent. Not the treble though, unfortunately. We got knocked out of the quarter-final stage in the Champions League. Real Madrid went on to beat Atletico Madrid in the final. They knocked us out, so yeah, a bit disappointed that they didn't go on to win it, but I do like Real Madrid, so I'm pretty happy to see them winning it. Whilst the Europa League was won by Villarreal, and Manchester United are nowhere to be seen, so they didn't even make it to the last 16. Bit embarrassing. And after conquering the Bundesliga, it's time to move on. Obviously, the idea of this challenge is to win the title in 5 different countries, so that makes it quite easy in this case. We've only got 2 offers, and one of them is to remain in Germany, so yeah, I'm not taking that one. We're moving to Italy, we're going to try and win the Serie A title, and we're going to have a pretty easy job of it, I reckon. We've been offered the Juventus job, and this should be fairly straightforward, so yeah, let's move to Italy, let's take charge of Juventus, and let's make it 2 seasons, 2 nations, 2 titles. So this is the team that I've got to work with at Juventus, and to be honest, it looks pretty brilliant. Maybe need to sign up a winger or 2, but other than that, solid squad, and we should win the title quite comfortably. And just to kick things off, I'm going to go back to Bayern and attempt to bring Douglas Costa with me to Italy. What do you say, Douglas? And once again, we will enter that pre-season tournament just for a bit of extra money. And that's the first sign-in secured, as Douglas Costa will be joining us in Italy. Whilst Zaza's left the club and he's moved to Valencia. And we've still got quite a bit of money left, so let's see about signing up Marquinhos too and strengthening that defence. So we've snapped up Marquinhos for 40 million. He's on 110 grand a week. And this is what the team looks like now. we should definitely win that league title. And we've still got 18 million to spare, so let's sim forward to January. And if we're not quite top of the table, we still got a bit of money to play with. We can make the squad even better. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident, to be honest. It's not exactly as comfortable as I would have liked, but going into January, we are top of the table, so I'll take it. We're 2 points ahead of Napoli. We got plenty of money left in the bank too, so let's start spending it. Let's see if we can sign up Dembele. That would be a fantastic signing. And he signed a contract, so let's bring him in. Buffon's down to an 84 rating now, so that's a bit disappointing. He's an absolute legend though, so he's going absolutely nowhere. We won't be replacing him. And look at that outfield. We're completely stacked. We look better than ever, and I reckon we'll win that title. So let's sim forward to the end of the season and let's see what happens. So that's 2 seasons completed now then, and 2 nations conquered. In season 1 we won the Bundesliga, and in the second season we've won the Serie A title. It wasn't by much, but who really cares? We wanted to win the title, and that's exactly what we've done. Inter were 2 points behind us in second, Napoli came third, Roma 4th, Fiorentina 5th, and the teams getting relegated were Atalanta, Novara and Cesena. Paulo Dybala scored the most goals with 28. He also provided the most assists along with Milik, and Handanovic kept the most clean sheets. We didn't win the cup though, unfortunately. We got knocked out by Milan at the quarter-final stage, and they went on to win the whole thing. I'm not too sure what happened in the Champions League though. We're nowhere to be found, so yeah, we must have dropped into the Europa League. That's a bit disappointing. Bayern went on to win the whole thing. Our former club, they beat Manchester United on penalties in the final. I'm slightly surprised to see Kingsley Coman as the top scorer though, to be honest. Even though they won it, I wasn't expecting to see him there. Messi was 13th, Ronaldo 12th, Hazard got the most assists, and Neuer kept the most clean sheets. And sure enough, there we are in the Europa League. We got knocked out by Liverpool 4-1, which is a bit embarrassing to be honest. At least they went on to win it though. And after winning the title in both Germany and Italy, it's now time to move on to France. We've been offered the Monaco job. I'm going to take it. It should be a bit more difficult to be honest. We'll have PSG to compete with. They're a very good team. I'm feeling confident though, so let's move over to France and let's see if we can win the league once again. Or at least that was the aim anyway. But Monaco kept rejecting my application, so I applied for other jobs, and the same thing kept happening with those jobs too, so yeah. I don't know why the game wouldn't let me join any other club. I applied for so many different positions. Leicester, Everton, Sevilla. They all said no though. I think I applied for West Ham too, but again, nope. So I've sent forward to January and it's time to try again. We've been offered the PSG job. Let's see if we can move there. Thankfully, the game is letting me leave now. I thought that this challenge was going to be an absolute fail because I thought I was going to have to completely abandon it. But we're back on track and we're heading to PSG. And I'm very happy with this PSG team. Griezmann was on the bench originally, so I didn't see him until I scrolled down. At which point, I was absolutely delighted. To have a 91 rated striker in your team is definitely very handy. We do have a couple of injuries at the moment, so that's a bit of an issue. And we do need another centre-back. I signed Marquinhos for Juventus when I was in charge of them, so yeah, they don't have much depth in that position. Other than that though, pretty solid squads, and I'm happy with this team to be honest, so yeah, should be able to win the French League, and that will be absolutely awesome. I've just gone in to sign Marquinhos though. I want to bring him back to Paris, and for some reason it's converted all of the budget into wage budget, so I'm not too sure what that's all about. Let's get that adjusted. So it turns out that we've got about 40 million to play with. I can work with that. I've only been here 5 minutes and Antoine Griezmann's not happy that he's not been playing first team football. That's not been up to me, mate. I would definitely play you every single week, so I don't know what's been going on, but that is going to change. You can count on it. And I didn't really need this guy, so I've sold him to Liverpool, and it's now time to try and bring Marquinhos back to the club. So now that that's sorted, let's see about winning the French League. We're 6 points clear at the top of the table at the moment, so I'm feeling quite confident that we will go on to win the title. Pretty happy that we didn't get the Monaco job as well, to be honest. They're third in the table, so yeah, I'm quite happy that the game wouldn't let me have a job at the end of last season. So it all went a bit wrong at the end of the second season. We thought we were going to Monaco. Didn't quite work out that way though. We've ended up at PSG and we've won the title. 28 wins, 3 draws, 7 defeats, 87 points, and we finished 16 points ahead of Nice. Monaco came 3rd, Bordeaux 4th, and Lyon finished in 5th position. Hesse scored the most goals, Payet provided the most assists, and Trapp kept the most clean sheets. Monaco won the Coupe Nationale, and in the Coupe de Ligue we were beaten by Toulouse in the final. And check out the absolute English domination in the Champions League. We made it the furthest of all the teams that weren't English, so I suppose that's somewhat of an achievement. We were beaten by Manchester United though, and they lost to Chelsea in the final. Sanchez was the top scorer, Messi got the most assists, and De Gea kept the most clean sheets. Whilst over in the Europa League, Liverpool beat Sevilla, with Mahrez scoring the most goals, Henderson providing the most assists, and Kritschuk keeping the most clean sheets. And I'm pretty happy to check out the leagues and see that Bayern won the Bundesliga title, and they only lost one game all season. Well done lads, keep it going. Whilst the game obviously glitched out a bit after we left Juventus in January, they ended up playing 54 games and picked up 120 points. Not bad going. And for the 4th season we've got a choice of different clubs here. We've got Chelsea, City, United and Spurs all interested in us. It didn't quite work out in season 2 though. I couldn't take on another job, so yeah, hopefully that won't happen again, and the game will let me head to Old Trafford and take over at Manchester United. Here we go then, Manchester, here we come. Looking at the league table for the 3rd season though, I'm not feeling massively confident at this point, to be honest. Manchester United finished 20 points off the pace last season. 19 wins, 12 draws, 7 defeats, and Arsenal came top with 89 points, so yeah, at least they finished ahead of Liverpool though, that's something. Looking at this starting 11 though, I'm not entirely sure why they struggled. They got Lukaku up front, Pogba in midfield, De Gea at the back, and Darmian is maybe the only player that needs replacing, to be honest. Everyone else looks pretty solid. What's the bench like? It's okay, could be a bit better. Reserves, not great, so I guess the lack of depth is what cost them, but it's still not a bad team, and I reckon that we can win the title in season 4. We've got 92 million in the bank, so I'm definitely feeling confident. Then again, Manchester United have spent a lot more than that in reality, and they still didn't exactly do great last season, did they? Did win the Europa League and the League Cup, came 6th in the league though, so that was a bit of a disappointment. Anyway though, the aim is to win the title, and I reckon that in FIFA, we can do it. And we need a new right back really, so let's go after this guy. He's out of contract at the end of the season, so we might be able to pick up a bargain. He's 87 rated. Sergio Aurier, what do you think about coming to Manchester United? And I was going to try and bring Cristiano Ronaldo back, but they want about 40 million for a player that's now 86 rated and massively on the decline. No thanks. And we have indeed been able to pick up an absolute bargain on this one. 26 million for an 87 rated right back. I will definitely take it. So welcome to the club. What a signing. James Wilson has just joined Watford. Rooney's gone to Newcastle, and Januzaj has signed for Southampton. So let's just go and splash the cash on James. And our former club are interested in signing Jesse Lingard. I'm guessing they're looking for a Messi replacement, and Lingard is pretty much on a level, so yeah, that one makes sense. Anyway though, Lingard is going absolutely nowhere, so thanks but no thanks Bayern. And the team now gets even stronger as James Rodriguez is on his way from Real Madrid. Welcome to Old Trafford. And looking at that squad now, I reckon we're ready for the title, so let's sim forward to January and let's see what happens. And going into January, we're 8 points behind Spurs, not quite where I wanted to be honest. Stoke are doing well for themselves, they're 3rd, Watford are 4th, Chelsea 5th, Arsenal 6th, and down in the relegation zone, Bournemouth, Wolves and Aston Villa. We might not be top of the league though, but at least we've won our Champions League group. Although we do go up against Real Madrid in the next round, so yeah. Maybe it would have been better if we didn't win our group. Anyway though, we do have a bit of money to spend, so let's go out and do it. Rashford was refusing a new contract, so rather than letting him leave on a free transfer, I've done a bit of a trade deal here. 12 million plus Marcus Rashford, and we're getting Dennis Suarez. Pereira's just joined Bayern, so let's see what we can do with the money we've got left over. Weaken Spurs, that's what we can do. Tactical transfer. And we're only 2 points behind them now, so it's going to be a close one. But let's sim forward to the end of the season, keep our fingers crossed, and let's hope that we can win that Premier League title. And now that we've reached the end of the season, I'm not going to lie, I'm feeling pretty happy with myself right now for signing up Eric Lamela. We only finished 6 points ahead of Spurs, so if they still had him, they might have won the title. Sadly for them though, they didn't. They came second, we won the league, and it's now 4 seasons, 4 nations, 4 titles. Martial was the top scorer, Bruma provided the most assists, and De Gea kept the most clean sheets. The FA Cup was won by Manchester City, Liverpool won the League Cup, and check out those Champions League semi-finalists. PSG, Bayern and Manchester United are all teams that I managed, yet it's the team that I haven't that won it. Bayer Leverkusen have beaten PSG in the final and they've won the Champions League. Julian Brandt was the top scorer, Griezmann and Tielemans got the most assists, and Courtois and Ter Stegen kept the most clean sheets. And over in the Europa League, Manchester City emerged victorious. And after conquering Germany, Italy, France and England, it's now time for the most difficult test of all. Not once have we been offered a job with Barcelona, Real Madrid or Atletico Madrid, so yeah, we've got limited options here. Well, I say we've got limited options. We've got quite a few options actually, but they're all going to be quite difficult. I was tempted to take on the Sevilla job. Valencia have got more money though, so let's go there. They've got some decent players. We've got something to work with. Let's give it a shot and let's see if we can win the title in Spain. I'm not feeling massively confident, but let's give it a go and let's see what happens. Or at least that was the plan anyway, but once again we're getting that message that we've been rejected, so last time this happened I wasn't able to move anywhere whatsoever, and I'm guessing that the same thing will be true once again. I will apply for other jobs and see if I can get another job. By the looks of things though, we're going to have to move forward to January, and I'll see you again then. Right, so as expected, I couldn't get a job anywhere. I've simmed forward to January though, and I've only been offered 2 jobs. One of which though is the Real Madrid job, so I'm pretty happy with that. I haven't been offered a job with any of the top Spanish teams before, so wasn't really expecting this one. They are 4th in the table though, so could be a bit of a challenge. We've got a lot of money to work with though. It says that they don't have any transfer budget, but 8 million in wage budget, so that should stretch a fair way and we should have plenty to spend. So let's take on the Real Madrid job and let's see if we can make it 5 seasons, 5 nations, 5 titles. And I'm quite happy to be offered this job on my birthday, the 5th of January. So we're off to Spain and we're going to make the magic happen, win the title with Real Madrid and complete the challenge. We do have to make up an 8-point gap on Barcelona and Villarreal though, so yeah, this won't be easy at all. We've got a fair amount of money to play with though, so let's see what we can do. I think we may need to start out by replacing Cristiano Ronaldo. He's down to a 79 rating. In fact, they've already replaced him. We've got an 89 rated left winger and a 90 rated left winger. That'll do me just fine. And now that I've put the reserves into the starting 11, the team is definitely looking a lot better. We have got to win this title. We do need a new left back though to replace Marcelo. He's dropping down the ratings, so let's go after Alaba. And this one might ruffle a few feathers, but let's bring Messi to Real Madrid. Alaba's just signed, so that improves the defence nicely. You know what, let's forget about Messi. Let's go after Neymar instead. So Kevin Trapp's on his way to Barcelona. He's 85 rated, but we had a couple of higher rated goalkeepers than him, so didn't really need him. And now we're signing up Neymar, so that should definitely help us to win the title. And the top deals of the window all involved Real Madrid. And I can't help but feel that it was a bit of a shady tactic stealing Neymar from Barcelona on transfer deadline day. They only had a couple of hours to go out and try and find a replacement, and they didn't sign anyone whatsoever, so yeah, it definitely hurt them to be honest. They hadn't lost any games whatsoever before Neymar left. They went on to lose 4 of their last 18 games, so yeah, I'll take that. We stole Neymar and it worked out for us. We've won the title based on our head-to-head records. Barcelona came second, Atletico Madrid came third, and Sevilla finished in 4th position. Carrasco was the top scorer, but Neymar was second, so again, very happy with that signing. Neymar also provided the most assists, and Arrizabalaga and Rulli kept the most clean sheets. And not only did we win the league, but we also won the Copa del Rey too. I'll take it. We didn't do so great in the Champions League though. We got knocked out by Spurs. And they then went on to beat Barcelona, so not a bad run at all from Spurs. Milan won the whole thing, beating Schalke 2-1 in the final. Christian Pulisic scored the most goals in the Champions League. Messi got the most assists. And Asenio, Berkey and Volpe kept the most clean sheets. Whilst over in Europa League, Stoke made it all the way to the final. only to lose to Sevilla. Kirchner was the top scorer, Gamero, Sigurdsson and Imbula provided 5 assists, and Butland kept the most clean sheets. Taking a look back at our former clubs then, our first club was Bayern, and they won the title in Season 5, picking up 80 points. Next up we managed Juve, and once again they won the title. And PSG were the third club that we managed in this challenge. They picked up 97 points in this 5th season, finishing 12 points ahead of Monaco. And because we left England in January, the game glitched again, so everyone either played 58 or 57 matches. Manchester United won the title with 120 points. So, in the 5th season, every team that we managed won the title. Not bad going at all. Anyway though, so I guess that's the challenge completed. 5 seasons, 5 nations, and we have indeed won 5 different titles. So thanks for watching, I hope you've enjoyed the video, have an awesome day, and I'll catch you again next time.